Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. Today I'll be showing you some Red Dead Redemption 2 in a high dynamic range. Just going to quickly go through the in-game settings. So playing at a resolution of 3840 by 2160, otherwise known as 4K. Being a bit more realistic this time, opting to use high settings. Now if you try to use Ultra with the RTX 2080 Ti, you're not going to maintain 60. It's a very demanding game. I am using temporal anti-aliasing this time, as it helps with the fur and hair aliasing. So even if you have it off, it really does look like a mess. So it's good to use temporal anti-aliasing in this game. And good thing about it is you can actually adjust the sharpness as well, so it's not too blurry. So it does help with the presentation. So that is the in-game settings that I'm using. One thing for high dynamic range, you do need to enable Vulkan. For whatever reason, DirectX 12 does not allow you to use HDR at the moment. So just to show you, to enable HDR, just go to display, and if you've got a HDR display, you can enable it from here. And of course, you can calibrate it to your display's peak brightness and other things, so it looks good for you. So that's pretty much it. So I'm in this small town. I'm not too sure what the town's called. It's one of the first towns you get to come to, and performance is okay. The HDR experience that I've had so far has been pretty average. I mean, when you look at the sun, it is pretty bright. I'll give it that. But generally, it's quite an average HDR implementation, and you're not missing out really on standard dynamic range. There isn't really anything that stands out to me, and I've played quite a few HDR games now, but the performance is a lot more acceptable at high settings, and the game still looks visibly pleasing as well. So I definitely recommend this high settings for anyone that's using an RTX 2080 Ti or similar specs. I'm gonna try and get myself a bounty here.
Maybe this is our man.
You a bounty hunter, mister?
Maybe. It depends.
But I'm guessing you ain't here to pass the day, turn yourself in, or discuss the finer points of county law. Then I don't need to know much more than that, till I got a reason to.
All right.
You smell that? This here's a livestock town, mister. Attracts delinquents and reprobates like flies. Now, I'm not a fellow to pass a quick judgment, but I've been around long enough to know you don't hire a saint to catch a sinner. You bring me what I need, and I'll pay you well, and I won't ask no questions.
So, what is it you need?
Why don't you have a look at that poster on the wall over there?
He's a low-down huckster. He's been poisoning folks with his miracle cure from here to Annesburg. Killed more than Landon Ricketts without even pulling a trigger. Gets some kind of sick satisfaction out of it.
Fella over at the saloon says he thought he saw him by the gorge straight north of here. You think you can bring him in? The money's good. I need him alive, though. I want to make sure the women he witted get compensated before he swings.
I'll see what I can do.
Well, good luck to you.
Benedict Albright. Okay, let's see if we can.
Need him alive. That's an important point.
Alive, I got it.
All right, fellas. Okay, so let's have a look at the map. See if I can set a waypoint to where this chap is. Yep, we can. So that makes things a lot easier. I'm gonna try and grab a temporary horse now and trade this guy down. So, of course, there's a lot of luminance coming off the sun. HDR does a good job of highlighting that, but I'm pretty sure standard dynamic range will do a fairly similar job too. But maybe we'll see some better performance when it comes to fire and light bulbs at night. I'll have to have a look at that. Let's have a quick look at this fire. It's not necessarily incredibly bright, so again, with the HDR implementation, it is quite bland. It's nothing special, it has to be said. Okay, I'm trying to get myself a horse and try and track down this Albright. So this is a horse I can use.
Come on, lady.
Okay, I just want to make sure I'm going the right way. So the quickest way. So you can use two ways to get to the guy, so that's why it's in red. I think I'll follow this path actually. Seems a bit more scenic. And looking at the performance now, still holding 60 frames per second barely. And I am using an overclocked RTX 2080 Ti and overclocked Intel i9 9900K. Not that the CPU makes much difference when you're playing at 4K. This is a very, very GPU bound game, but at the same time, the requirement or the CPU load is very, very low on this game, so you should be able to get away with a quad core with hyper threading. But if you're going to use just 4 cores, you may struggle at some points. So just dipping below 60 here next to the water. Water physics, as far as I've been told, it really has quite a big impact on the game. So that's one of the things you should reduce if you want to kind of tweak the game. Now I've got everything at high, as I said. I still want to maintain a good amount of image quality, because there's no real point in owning a high-end PC if you're going to run everything at low settings. So this is where this guy is hiding out, so I'm going to creep up on this guy and see what he has to say. I want to lasso him first, actually. Might be the best thing to do. Catch him first, ask questions later.
Are you Benedict Albright?
No, sir.
Yes, you are.
Kind of look like him. And I was told he'd be up here.
No, not me, sir.
It's because I want to buy some medicine, and I heard good things. I'll pay in gold if you could help me find him. It's just my mother's real sick.
Oh, well, if that's the case, for a sick woman, I'd be happy to help. I'm a healer, you know? A medical man. Finest medicine in the state.
Game's over, mister. Put your hands up.
Nicely
Take
played,
your
Alpha.
Taking me in? What for?
Apparently that stuff you're pushing is killing folk. There's a price on your head. I don't know, it ain't my business.
Partner, that's crap. I'm a healer. I got an aura. I speak to spirits. I'm a scientist. Folks get real angry for no good reason. This is a mistake.
Keep your hands up, buddy. They only want you for questioning.
I have to insist that this is a mistake.
Don't be a fool. Hold on.
I'm slipping. Shit. Wait.
And now I'll go after him.
Sorry. All right.
Yeah, you knew it wasn't going to be that easy. Let's chase this guy down. There he is.
Shit. I gotta cross.
Alright, I'm going to have to head him off somehow.
Grab onto something. All right, try. Look out, the rapids. Hold your breath.
Where the hell did he go?
Don't you dare drown.
There he is. Alright, I'm going to throw this lasso. Alright.
Please, throw me a rope. Save me. Throw a rope or something, please.
Alright. Gotta get a bit closer.
Come here.
There you go.
Come here.
So, drag him out of the water, shall we? Don't even think about it. Alright. The hell, I just wanna... So there is... So it's further lasso, so I basically gotta put it back over him. Sorry, I gotta use the, Come on, man. Hog tie him, do what you have to do. That's better. Now we can put him on the horse. Come up out them pockets first.
This is very kind of you.
May as well take his money. He isn't going to need it where he's going. Alright, let's take him back to the sheriff's office. Oh, come on, Arthur, man. That was shocking. Let's pick the guy up already.
Alright, let's go.
Alright, let's try that again.
Let's go for a ride.
Keep back. What do you think you're doing?
Shut up. Don't get involved in my business. Alright, let's take him back.
Sir, I think I must be suffering from exposure.
Is that right? Maybe you should drink some of that medicine that you're so good at brewing.
I seem to keep blacking out. Sir,
It's none of my concern.
I must warn you, my temperature is subnormal. I have
Is that
medicine
right?
in my pocket. Pass it to me, please.
I'm just quickly check the map just to make sure I'm going the right way. So yeah, I'm gonna follow the yellow brick road. Don't give a damn about your medicine. It's probably just a trick to get free.
Isn't necessary. I'm a medical man, a healer. It's all just a big mistake. Oh, I don't feel very well.
I told you to shut up.
Who made you judge?
I'm only in it for the money.
Oh, I don't feel well at all. You're a bully, sir.
At least it's night time now, so we can start seeing some firelights and we can start seeing some lamps. Let's see how the luminance looks. See if it pops like most HDR lights do. The fires certainly look a lot better at night time, and the lamps are really popping as well. So yeah, it's not too bad when it comes to the street lighting at least. But generally the game doesn't do too much in HDR. But yeah, I have to say the town all lit up at night does look pretty good. Anyway, I brought this guy back. Let's bring him to the sheriff. Mr. Albright.
girl. Come on, man.
Didn't even check how much the bounty was, but I'm happy enough. Wasn't the hardest job in the world.
Oh, my lord. I wasn't expecting you back so soon. Mrs. Calthorpe was just leaving.
Sure. Where you want him?
Cell in the back.
What was that? Some kind of infidelity going on there? I didn't catch that, but seems the sheriff there was a bit too close to someone else's woman, possibly. Anyway, let's just leave him here.
Oh, there's been some terrible mistake. I never did it. Any of it.
I thought I told you to shut up, partner.
Oh, but
I told you. About nothing. Shut up. And, good luck. It's been real fun. You ain't much of a man. You ask folks for forgiveness, you remember this, partner? I've already forgotten. Now, sure, how much was you offering?
$50. Here.
Thank you. Madam.
Now, please, remember what I told you.
Alright, well that was fun. Still learning the game, guys, that's why I suck at it at the moment, but once I get used to the controls, I'll definitely be able to do things a lot more smoothly. But anyway, that was a look at HDR. I think it's quite average. The night lighting is pretty good, though. The luminance does pop as I would have expected it to do, and it does maintain the dark areas as well pretty well. So that's the good thing about HDR, being able to do really, really bright scenes and still maintain the dark areas at the same time. So yeah, overall it's okay, but I don't think you'll be missing too much if you're playing this in standard dynamic range. So anyway, that's pretty much it for me, guys. Hopefully you enjoyed the video, and as always, thanks for watching.